Welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Nidar Gavelazi, and before we begin, we want to remind you again that for more of the best content from Israel, sign up today for our streaming platform, ILTV+. And now, coming up in today's newscast. As the Russian invasion enters its 8th day, is Israel looking to take on a more active mediation role? What lessons can Israel draw over Iran from the world's reaction to the Russia-Ukraine war? Likud Knesset member and former mayor of Jerusalem, Nir Barkat, weighs in. And we'll hear from Rabbi Mendi Wolf, who is on a mission to evacuate over 100 orphans from Ukraine. A 40-year-old Israeli man was stabbed Thursday morning near the Chizma checkpoint near Jerusalem. This marks the second stabbing attack in the same area in a span of 24 hours. According to Magen David Adom Emergency Services, the victim was reportedly stabbed in the neck while trying to visit a mechanic. He was evacuated in moderate condition to the Shaarei Tzedek Medical Center in Jerusalem. A day earlier on Wednesday, another man in his late 40s was also stabbed in the neck near Chizma. He was also evacuated to the hospital in moderate condition. The IDF spokesperson's unit said it has launched a manhunt and are examining the possibility that the same perpetrators are responsible for both attacks. They added that the attacks were most likely terrorist attacks. Is Israel looking to take on a more active role in the Russia-Ukraine war? On Wednesday evening, Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett held back-to-back calls with both Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Aaron Porras with the report.
Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, who's been walking a tightrope with regards to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, speaking by phone with the leaders of both countries on Wednesday. The first call was with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Zelensky tweeting that the two spoke about the Russian aggression. And Bennett's office confirming the call, saying it was a follow-up to, quote, continue their conversation from last Friday, in which they agreed to maintain continuous contact, end quote. A few hours later, Bennett holding a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. According to a release by the Kremlin, Bennett initiating the call with the Russian president, and Putin telling Bennett that taking into account Moscow's security interests was one of the key conditions for resolving the conflict. The call is coming shortly after Zelensky released a statement in Hebrew on social media, calling on Jews around the world to speak out against the Russian invasion. The statement was a translation of his recorded daily video address.
Звертаюсь зараз до всіх євреїв світу. Хіба ви не бачите, що відбувається? Тому дуже важливо, щоб саме зараз, саме ви, мільйони євреїв по всьому світу не мовчали, бо у мовчанні народжується нацизм.
And while the world's focus has shifted to Ukraine, Israel still keeping a close eye on Iran and the negotiations in Vienna. Joining us now to discuss what lessons Israel can draw from the Russia-Ukraine war is Likud member of Knesset and former mayor of Jerusalem, Nir Barkat. Thank you for joining us.
My honor and pleasure.
So I want to address the Russian invasion of Ukraine first. I mean, what do you think of the government's decision to stay relatively silent for the first week of the invasion, especially when the United States and the rest of the world have been condemning Russia's actions pretty loud and clear?
Well, as a grandson of Holocaust survivors that lost 30 members of their family in Poland, in Auschwitz, Israel and me as a Jew cannot stand on the sideline on such an aggressive attack against Ukraine. And we must be part of the big, large coalition of the Western world defending and helping Ukraine against the Russian aggression. So that's my perspective, my point of view, that I believe that the Israeli government should follow.
And what about Israel's coordination with Russia in Syria? I mean, how does that factor in your opinion?
Well, even before that, with your permission, there's another country in the world, regime in Iran, that threatens to wipe out Israel. They're threatening to go to war against Israel. And by the way, we're called the small Satan by Iran. and the Western world is the large Satan. So we have another very aggressive regime that wants to go to war, that is using terror to hit innocent people. And my question to the world is, do we want to put sanctions after Iran attacks Israel?
To watch full episodes of ILTV's Israel Daily and tons of other content from Israel, visit our website at iltv.tv or download the ILTV Plus app.